The sport itself. We love simple narratives, we crave heroes, we create villains. In the high-stakes, high-speed world of Formula One, this need for a simple story can be brutal. A driver can be branded with a label for life. Sometimes that label is champion. Other times it is something far less kind. It can be a tag like the worst F1 driver in history. This essay will examine one such case. We will look at a driver whose name became a shorthand for failure. We will ask a simple question: how fair is that label? We must look beyond the easy headlines. We need to dig into the facts. We will explore the moments that built this unfortunate reputation. We will analyze the high-profile mistakes. But we will also look at the context surrounding them: the car, the team, the immense pressure of motorsport's pinnacle. This is not about making excuses. It is about seeking understanding. It is about painting a complete picture, one that the highlight reels, angry fan forums often leave out. It is about the story behind the statistics. The driver in question is a name many will recognize, perhaps not from the podium but from the punchlines. Let's call him Alex Vance. His Formula One career was short, marked by a distinct lack of points, filled with spectacular, costly errors. To truly understand, we must strip away the sneers, the jokes, and use facts and clear, unbiased examples. This is the story of how a reputation is made and how it can be destroyed. A cautionary tale about judgment in the digital age. It asks us to look at the person inside the helmet and the myriad factors beneath the myth. The story of Alex Vance is more than a list of crashes. It is a human story. A modern Formula One debut is one of the toughest challenges in all of sport. The jump from junior formulas is immense. A new driver must learn a vastly more complex car and adapt to speed and G-forces that are almost unimaginable. They must work with a team of hundreds and do it under the intense glare of the global media spotlight. The pressure is suffocating. The pace is relentless. There is simply nowhere to hide. Alex Vance's debut was a perfect storm. He joined a small team with big problems. From the very first race, the struggle was clear. Phoenix Racing was chronically underfunded, a classic backmarker. Their car was slow, unreliable. In his first few races, Vance rarely saw the checkered flag. Starting near the back, impact was near impossible. When the car held together, the lack of pace was stark, lapped multiple times. In qualifying, pressure for a miracle lap led to mistakes, a lockup, running wide, the spin, and starting dead last. Debut: a quiet retirement with a gearbox issue. Race 3: first qualifying crash, heavy damage. Overnight, mechanics rebuilt frantically. Mid-season, he still could not out-qualify his experienced teammate. Team context is vital. Phoenix was in survival mode, not developing, just making the next race. Alex Vance was a young driver thrown into the deep end, given a boat full of holes. These early retirements were not his fault, but they began to build a narrative, a driver who could not finish races. He fought not for points, but for simple dignity. If one race cemented Alex Vance's reputation, it was the Monaco Grand Prix, a circuit that rewards precision and punishes the slightest error. The ultimate test for a struggling driver. Treacherous, changing conditions, painted lines and manhole covers like ice. Even the best were on edge. On lap 18, after Saint-Devote, he lost control. The Phoenix rear snapped without warning. He tried to correct, but there was no room to recover. The car pirouetted and slammed into the barrier. The impact was heavy. Left side destroyed, suspension shattered, rear wing torn away. A single car, simple driver error. TV replays it from every angle. He was unhurt, the most important thing, but the crash cost his team dearly. Phoenix lacked spares. The chassis could not be repaired in time for Canada. He sat out, a humiliating penalty. Media and forums exploded, calling it one of the worst drives in recent memory. The visuals were damning, yet context mattered. Rain was catching out the best. A former champion brushed the same barrier and escaped with minor damage. Vance's error was more severe, yes, but not unique. Only its outcome was catastrophic. In the court of public opinion, that detail was lost. Sometimes a career is defined not by a massive crash, but by a small, embarrassing moment. For Vance, at the Spanish Grand Prix. On a sunny, dry day, no excuses, he was leading backmarkers in a battle for 17th. On lap 5, the car spun, a slow pirouette into the gravel. No damage, but stuck. His race was over. Then came the team radio. His engineer, voice raw. "Alex, what happened? We told you to manage the rear tires. What was that?" Short, sharp, brutal, placing blame squarely on the driver. Within hours, it was clipped, subtitled, shared everywhere. It went viral. It became a meme. That 10-second clip did more damage than any crash, shaping a narrative that he was out of his depth and ignored instructions. No one talked about Phoenix chewing rear tires, or that his teammate complained a lap earlier, or a young driver pushing too hard in a subpar machine. All that remained was the spin and the angry voice. One bad lap, one viral clip, and a reputation set in stone. Why did these things keep happening to Alex Vance? We must look beyond the driver's seat. The ecosystem. First, the car. Phoenix ran on a shoestring. In F1, money buys speed. Lower half teams run older parts, less advanced aero, fewer R&D resources. Setups can be poor or inconsistent, cars unpredictable at the limit. A poor car creates a vicious cycle. To keep up, you push beyond its limits. Brake later, carry more speed, power earlier, risk skyrockets. Errors a top car forgives become race-ending in a poorly balanced machine. Vance drove the knife edge out of necessity, not recklessness. Second, experience. Respectable junior record, but little testing in contemporary F1 machinery. The step is enormous, braking far later, mind-bending cornering speeds, managing tires, engine modes, radio comms. Third, pressure. A major sponsor helped fund his seat. They wanted results and exposure. Expectations piled on young shoulders. Pressure makes drivers try too hard, overdrive the car, more risks, more accidents. It is a psychological trap many have fallen into. Understanding does not excuse, it explains. Context reshapes the picture. Numbers don't lie, but do they tell the whole story? Judged by data alone, the verdict is swift and harsh. Statistics can be a cruel judge. Average finish in the high teens, crashes and spins above grid average, more penalty points than peers, fewer laps completed than teammates. On paper, it screams failure, supporting the worst driver label. Compared to a typical midfielder, finishes most races, keeps it clean, snags points in chaos, brings the car home and gathers data. Vance's high DNFs suggest recklessness or incapability, but statistics can hide as much as they reveal. Break it down. Driver errors, crashes, spins, versus mechanical failures, broken engine, faulty gearbox. In his case, closer to 50-50, roughly half were reliability. The table records all as retirements, reasons vanish, blame defaults to the man behind the wheel. He did have safety-related errors, impeding in qualifying, a time penalty for passing under yellows. Harder to defend, they fueled critics claiming lack of awareness. Numbers don't lie, but they rarely tell the whole truth. The human element, confidence, pressure, the team radio. F1 is as mental as it is physical. A driver's mind must be a fortress. Confidence, calm, intense focus. For Vance, the fortress crumbled early. Crashes, mechanical failures, public criticism. After a big crash, subconscious caution creeps in. Brake a fraction earlier, turn in less aggressively. In F1, a tenth is an eternity. Drive too cautiously, slow laps, criticism. Then push too hard to prove speed, overdrive, Another mistake. A spiral of self-doubt and overcompensation.
A reporter quoted a team member. "He's lost his nerve. One lap he's hesitant, the next he's trying to be a hero. There's no consistency."
Engineering debriefs flagged inconsistent braking points. The more experienced teammate, not a superstar, was consistently quicker, nursing the car to 14th, 15th, while Vance lagged or retired. Public team radios offered a window into struggle, broadcasting frustration, amplified pressure, eroded trust, and turned every cockpit entry into fear of fresh humiliation. Anxious minds drive slow cars. Fleeting moments of brilliance, the talent that was there. Amidst crashes and criticism, it would be wrong to say his career was devoid of skill. You cannot reach F1 without talent. There were brief flashes that shone through. In Germany, after a safety car in the wet, he saw gaps and made a brave, intelligent move around the outside, multiple cars, with superb car control. He climbed 6 positions in a lap, briefly ran in the points, then defended robustly but fairly for 20 laps, placing an inefficient car perfectly. Eventually, pace prevailed, but he proved he could race wheel to wheel and hold his own. In a late race, another driver hit him, a chunk of floor gone, downforce lost. Most would struggle to keep it on track. Vance adapted, managed the unstable car for over 50 laps, and brought it home. No points, but immense grit and technical sensitivity. These moments show the worst ever label is too simple. The talent was there, just buried. A legacy questioned, is worst ever a fair verdict? We return to our central question. The evidence for his struggles is undeniable. Major mistakes, high-profile crashes, lack of pace, grim statistics, viral errors, 0 points, and costly damage. Criticism is understandable, but a fair verdict needs context. An underfunded team, slow and unreliable car, limited testing, immediate sponsor expectations, and the psychological toll that fed a vicious cycle. Equipment matters, team dynamics, mental fortitude. Blame does not exist in a vacuum. History offers perspective. F1 has seen truly dangerous drivers, careers with no qualifications made, seats bought with no junior merit. Vance was a lower formula champion with real talent and flashes of brilliance. His story is not no ability, but talent crushed by a perfect storm. Worst F1 driver is catchy and clickable, a simplistic answer to a complex question. It satisfies our need for a villain and a simple failure story. But it is unfair and incomplete. His career mixed real mistakes with bad luck, weak equipment, and immense pressure. The truth lies in the gray area, between heroic myth and cruel meme. It leads to a final, more thoughtful question. Do we judge people only by their worst viral moments, or do we owe them the fairness of the full story?